Hello class, this is a video tutorial on solving quadratic equations. In this video we're going to look at the first method in solving equations using factoring. So by fully factoring algebraic expressions we can apply the zero product rule. What the zero product rule in essence means, if you have two numbers a times b equals 0, so this one here, we can conclude from this that either a equals 0 or b equals 0, or both. And in essence, what it's going to look like is we'll have a fully factored expression like this equaling 0, and from this we can let each individual factor equal 0 and solve for p and solve for q. Okay? This doesn't make sense like this. It'll make a lot more sense doing a few examples. Here we go. Let's do a few examples. So we have 2x squared plus 8x equals 0. Well, let's fully factorize. We can take a 2. 2 comes out. And we can take x out. This will give me a factor of x. Oops. X plus 4 equals 0. And now we have a fully factored expression of 2x and x plus 4. And from this we can conclude that 2x equals 0, which means x is equal to 0, or x plus 4 is equal to 0, and x equals negative 4. Because we solved each individual factor like that. Move on to the next one. Here we have a difference of two squares, so we can factor this, giving us x plus 3, x minus 3 equals 0. Once again, they're both fully factored on the left, so this means we can say x plus 3 is equal to 0, which x equals negative 3, or x minus 3 equals 0, and x equals positive 3. Alright, moving right along. Here we now have a trinomial, so we need to find two numbers that add to 9 but multiply to positive 20. So I can think of a number of that one. It's going to be x equals x minus 4, x minus 5 equals 0. And from this we can, once again, x minus 4 equals 0, x equals positive 4. X minus 5 is equal to 0, x equals positive 5. I always like to draw a little line in the middle just to separate my working. Okay, let's keep moving along. Here we have a slightly harder example, but in order to do this we should, we need to gather all the terms to the left first, or you can bring everything to the right. Just the main thing we need to understand is that it needs to equal 0, so we need to remove everything here. So let's do this one step at a time. So 2x cubed, there's no cubed here, so 2x cubed stays the same. 10x minus 8x squared, so squared. This will give me plus 2x squared. Okay, and then this is gone from the right. We do negative 20x minus 4x. Okay, well this will give me negative 24x is equal to 0. Getting closer. Now we need to factor all the terms that we can here. Well, I can see that they all have an even coefficient, so 2. They all have an x to give. Oops, so 2x. This will give me x squared plus x minus 12x is equal to 0. We now need to factor again this one here. I can think of two numbers for this, so this is going to be x plus 3, x minus 4. The 2x is still there in the front. And now we have three factors here, but the zero product rule still applies. So we can say this factor, 2x equals 0, dividing both sides here by 2, so x still equals 0. We can say now that this is going to be x plus 3 equals 0, x equals negative 3, and lastly x minus 4 is equal to 0, x equals positive 4. So in this case there are three possible answers for x. Okay, it's still using the zero product rule. One last example here. For this one, we need to do a non-monic factoring, so I'm going to get this ready. 6x all over 6 equals 0. So let's factor these out. Let's figure out the numbers that we need. We need two numbers that multiply to 72 but add to negative 17. Just looking at that, the only way I can think of this is that we need two negative numbers, because two negative numbers will multiply to a positive but add to a negative. So let's try negative negative 6 and negative 12. Okay, that'll give me minus 6 minus 12 is negative 18. It's very close. Let's try the next number up. Let's give us 8 and 9. So negative 8 times negative 9. Negative 8 minus 9, that is negative 17, which is what we want. This gives me negative 8 and negative 9. Let's remove this. And now we still need to keep factoring this, so I can factor a 2 from the this first one, so it's going to be 2 outside 3x minus 4, and I'm going to factor a 3 out from this one. This is times 3 outside 2x minus 3 all over 6 equals 0. These are all factors on this left hand side. I'm just going to make this a little bit neater. So the 2 times 3 makes 6, dividing by 6. This leaves us all with 3x minus 4 and 2x minus 3 equals 0. And now we can apply the zero product rule, where 3x minus 4 is equal to 0, 3x equals positive 4, and x equals 4 on 3. And lastly, 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, 2x equals positive 3, and x equals 3 on 2. And these are the last two answers for this last example. So I hope that gave you an insight in factoring and solving quadratics using the zero product rule. Best of luck!